Hi guys, welcome to today's video. Today I'm going to be doing a Notion tour and walking you through exactly how I stay organized with Notion. Okay, so this is my homepage. Just says life planner, and then I have a little quote underneath it. And then when you scroll down a little, I have my monthly goals. So I update this every month. Right now we're in July. And then I'll just check off things as I go. Usually, the goals that I have here are kind of just more general, just things that I want to see every day, but isn't necessarily like super specific or anything. Then here I have another quote. I have my systems pages, which I'll get into in a bit. My daily priorities pages, which I'll also show in a little. And then I have my weekly agenda here. So I update this every week, and I just put important any meetings, my workout schedule, my language learning schedule, anything important happening throughout the week so that I can just see it all here on this page. This page is super helpful for planning my week out. I'll update it like every Sunday and just go through so I can see everything that I have to do in one spot. That's why I like to have it on my home page instead of having it in a separate page, just so it's one of the first things that I'm seeing when I open my Notion. Then we scroll down, and this is my assignments tracker. I'm not in school right now, so there's obviously nothing there. But when I am in school, there will be different assignments here. And this is linked for my school page, which I will also be showing you guys later on in this video. But yeah, this way I can, within my homepage, without even having to go into my school page, I can see all of the assignments that I have due for the week, all displayed in a layout. I'll insert an image here of what it looks like in a full week just so that you guys can see. But yeah, so it's super helpful for staying on top of all of my school assignments. Down here, I have my task list. I don't really use this that often, I'm not gonna lie. But just some general to-dos, and then I can switch them over to doing, and then done when I'm eventually done with them. And then down here, I have my calendar. It's currently empty because I plan everything in Apple Calendar. So for my Notion calendar, I just like putting the most important things that I have going on. So right now it's empty, but in a month where I was really busy during school, I would put like my most important dates. Okay, so now let's get into the daily priorities pages. So first I have my habit tracker. It's like these little cards, and you can just tick it off based off what you're doing in the day. I have daily habits that I want to make sure that I'm completing, like reading, 10K steps or doing some form of exercise, 8 hours of sleep, wake up early, some form of mindfulness, whether it's journaling or meditation, take my vitamins. I like to make sure that I either like watch a TED Talk or read an article, just do some form of learning in the day, and then follow like my daily diet that I have planned out. So that's what I have in my habit tracker, and so I update that every day. As you can see, I don't complete everything every day, but it's just a good way of holding myself accountable and seeing which of my habits I'm completing. Next, we have the weekly meal planner. This is pretty simple, and I only really use this during the school year, just because it helps me plan out what to meal prep for lunches and stuff, just because I don't always have time to make it every day during the school year. And so I just have like the day of the week, I have what workout I'm doing that day, and then just breakfast, lunch, dinner, and I'll just write out which I'll do for each. So this is a simpler page, but it's helpful during the school year with keeping track of meals and stuff. And then here I have my winter plan. This is like my winter arc lock-in plan. So I haven't used this in a bit, but basically just have some inspo pictures, and then my workout plan for the week, some daily non-negotiables, and then just some general goals that I had during that time. This is just, I like to do this sometimes if I'm ever feeling like kind of if I'm ever feeling kind of like out of routine, I'll make a big plan and it helps me get back into it. And I made a Notion page for this winter, and that helped a little bit. And yeah, so that's on my home page, and now we can get into my different systems that I have. So the first one is school. So I have a couple of different pages here. So this is my high school hub. So up until this year, this is what I used for my high school planner. So I had some important school links, some college application links, which was really helpful this past year, my daily schedule, the assignment tracker again, a little sticky note for any random notes I wanted to jot down, my classes page and assignments page, which I'll show you in a second. And then I had my daily schedule laid out here. This was really helpful, and I just put, we didn't do like Monday through Friday type of thing. We had like A through F day. So I just put it all A through F day, and then put every class, club, and activity that I had during that time. And then over here in the classes page, I had all the different classes that I was taking. And then with my assignment tracker, I was able to make assignments for the specific classes, which I can show you in a second. And then here is the assignments page. As you can see, I can put it in week mode and see what I have in a week. And then you can see all of the different assignments that I put in my Notion for this year. So I can just show you an example. Like if I were to go to my assignment hub here, make a new assignment, I could say history reading, put it to a specific course. If I had any notes, I can write some notes, the due dates, the type of assignment, so the reading, and then anything that I wanted to write down, I could write here. So this was super helpful for keeping track of all of the assignments that I had, and I could see them all in one spot from all my different classes. This was like the main thing that I used my Notion for related to school. So that's my high school hub. Obviously I won't be using this anymore, but I just like to keep it just to look back on if I ever want to reference anything. And then I have this romanticizing school year page. There's not much in here. It was just like quick notes that I took from this YouTube video that I liked. Yeah, so nothing crazy, just things that I wanted to implement into my school year. Here I had a college application checklist. Pretty self-explanatory for keeping track of my college applications. And then here is my college planner. So I haven't actually gone to use this yet, but I've set it up and I'm very happy with it. So this is the planner that I'll be using in college now. Basically the same thing as it was for the high school one. So I have my task list here, classes up here. Here are all the assignments that are due today. So I'll be able to see it right away for like major important deadlines that I have to get done right away. I have my weekly schedule. I have two because I'm still in the process of making my schedule, so just ignore that. And then a calendar that has all of my assignments linked. And then on this side, I have my different pages, which I'll get into in a second. Some reminders right here in this box. And then I have different important links. And then I have this little school tips thing that I'll delete eventually. Just I want to see it before I start school. So to get into the pages, pretty similar to the last ones. We have assignment tracker. We can see it in different views, and there's also a workflow down here to show what I've started, what I haven't, what I finished. So two different ways to view my assignments. So basically the same as the high school one. Then I have a notes hub. So this, I can put notes from classes. I don't know that I'll necessarily use this just because I usually like to take my notes on like Google Docs or GoodNotes, but we'll see. I just have it there just in case I decide to use it. And then I have meeting notes, so from different club meetings and like, I don't know, like research, whatever. Then I have an extracurricular and stats page. So basically, I have this set up so that I can keep track of all of the activities that I'm in, just because it's nice to be able to see everything on the same page. So I have extracurriculars and clubs to track. I have academic stats tracker, coursework tracker, any research and projects that I'm involved in, and then like just like a resume application bank. Again, this is all just like an empty template at the moment because I haven't actually started school yet, but I set it up this way because I did a similar thing in my notes for high school, and it was super helpful for college applications. So since I'm planning on going to med school, I think it'll just be really helpful for med school apps. And then right here I have a references page, which I'm not gonna open right now, just because it has people's personal information. But it's basically just a spreadsheet of different people who I could use as a reference. So like whether it's like a letter of recommendation or I need a reference on a job application or something, just different adults who I know have either offered to write me a reference in the future or I know would be a good person to reach out to. And then also in the classes, these little things here, if you like click on one of the classes, I can put different information on class info, textbooks, grading, and course description. So yeah, so this is my college planner. Haven't used it yet, but hopefully it'll help me stay organized with my assignments and extracurriculars. And so that's everything in my school system. Not all of them have that much stuff. That one's like my main big one. Then this next one, Seaside Sustainability, that's a company that I intern with. So it's basically just notes on different tasks, projects, important links, to-dos. So nothing particularly interesting that I'm gonna focus on too much, but just something that I use to keep organized for my internship. Then I have this journal page. So I have a bunch of different journaling pages. I'm not going to look at everything, but just a basic overview. Here are some journal entries. So I usually journal on paper, but every once in a while I'll type it up. So these are like brain dumps and daily journals. I have some quotes here that I liked that I didn't want to forget. I have some school notes from different meetings and stuff. I'll go over a few of them. So this is my book journal. I don't really use it that much, I'm not gonna lie, because I usually just use GoodNotes. But every once in a while, I'll want to write a review for a book that I don't want to be public on my GoodNotes, but I want to have it, and so I'll use the book journal for that. So this has a bunch of different features. I got this on just like the Notion marketplace. So that's the book journal. Then I have this content planner where I just have different video ideas that I want to make for my YouTube, and then different recurring series. So not super fledged out yet since this is literally my second video, but something that I hope to keep developing and hopefully will be helpful. I have this summer page, which was just different things that I wanted. This was for last summer. Yeah, this was for last year. Different things that I wanted to keep track of, habits that I wanted to develop, that type of thing. Then I have like my 2026 planning. So I have daily non-negotiables. I wrote out my hobbies. I actually have to update this. My goals, won't look at that too much. Like I have some specific month plannings for months that were kind of not super busy. So it's kind of like I don't have a routine. So I want to make sure that I'm still doing important things and not just doing nothing all day. I have a monthly reflection page, which I haven't done since March, but I can basically reflect on all the important things that happened this month, lessons, and it has different like prompts for like how to fill this out. So that's like a monthly reflections, which I like. So yeah, so that's my journal system. Then here I have recipes, pretty self-explanatory. I have like a table where I have some school lunch ideas that I liked, and I linked the recipe there. And then down here I just have links to different recipes that I liked, and I have some PDFs. And then here's my travel page. So this is my travel planner. So this is another template that I got from like the Notion marketplace. So I'm not going to go too in depth on it, but basically you can make different trips, whether you're planning it, booking, ongoing. You can have different destinations here and places that you want to visit or have visited. There's a bunch of pages for organizing bookings, creating an itinerary, packing list, different travelers that you want to include, budget making and expenses organizing and keeping track of your expenses, and then travel journals. I don't really use that much of this page, but I use it for the trip planning and keeping track of destinations and stuff. So I'm currently planning a trip to Mexico and Guatemala, which I'm excited about. Then I have my shopping. So this is pretty much just links to things that I want to buy. And then this is my college dorm room page. So basically I have like all of the posters and decorations that I want to get, some inspo pictures, and then just my entire order list, and then the things that I want to buy in person once I'm there, and then everything that I want to bring with me to college. So that's my shopping page pretty much. And then I have my finances system. So this links to a finance tracker. I have not used this yet because I don't plan on using it until I get to college. But basically it helps me come up with a budget, keep track of my student loans, and keep track of my income and expenses. Hopefully this will help keep me more accountable with my spendings. So that's my finance tracker. And then my last system on my Notion is my languages page. So this is my language learning hub. So it has all of my languages. So basically I have German, which I have been learning for 193 days. I have like goals for German, current level, yearly goals, bunch of different things on here. Then I have Turkish, which I just started doing, Spanish, which I'm bilingual in Spanish, so I speak Spanish fluently, but I want to make sure that when I go to college and I'm not going to be like in a household where I'm speaking it every day, I'm making sure to keep immersing myself in the language so that I don't lose that. I want to make sure that I'm still reading in Spanish and watching TV in Spanish and speaking in Spanish, and just making sure that that's not something that I lose. Here I have notes from a really helpful video that I found on how to learn a language and basically the phases that you should go through in learning a language. And then here I have my weekly study plan, alternating between German and Turkish, and then on Sunday I have my Spanish immersion. So that's my weekly studying plan. And then I have a monthly goals page, a resource page where I can keep track of everything that I'm using, and then a study tracker, which I don't actually use, but I could use if I wanted to. So yeah, so that's my language system. And so that is all of my systems and everything on my Notion. I use Notion every single day. Super helpful for staying organized, and I feel like it's kind of difficult to learn to use at first because it's not very self-intuitive. So I hope that this is helpful and that you enjoyed this template and you're able to use it in your daily life. Thank you guys so much for watching today's video. I hope you enjoyed the Notion tour. Again, if you liked my template, the link is in the description. And stay tuned for some more videos and content coming out soon.